God of War 4 is finally here, and we were able to get our hands on the limited edition Leviathan Gray PS4 Pro. And you know, I've been really excited for this game, so I wanted to make sure this unboxing was done right, so we got a hold of a Viking axe. Let's get to it.
My life is yours, Ares.
How much is enough, Kratos? When will it end?
We are not men. We are more than that.
Now, to be honest with you guys, when I very first saw this console revealed, I didn't actually see the trailer where they kind of explained the concept or anything. I just saw a still image, and I wasn't sure. It seemed like it was just a kind of a bunch of stuff thrown on a console and didn't have much meaning. But then, when they showed the idea that it's supposed to be the axe from the game and it's recreated right here, I was like, okay, I can buy that a little more. And now that I see it in person, I actually really like the design of this system. There's a lot of stuff here that I don't think necessarily it's translated the best in a picture, but when you actually see it in person, it just comes across so much stronger. One of the things that really stands out right away is the fact that oftentimes I feel like Sony tends to almost over-abuse gloss finishes on some of their systems, and this one instead opts for using a mixture where you have gloss in the segments that aren't really the axe, whereas the axe is this matte, just slightly shiny kind of finish with this dark silver, almost steel kind of design, which looks really good, especially with the accents of gold here and there. So the axe design on the top, I think, works pretty well. Now, as for the front of the system, we've got two different things going on. First, there's this kind of gold weaving going on in the middle, which honestly, I'm not really a huge fan of, but below that, we've got these 8 runes. Now, if these symbols don't look familiar to you, they're actually etched into the main logo for this game, which is on the shirt I'm wearing right now. It's these 8 guys right here, and these are runes. Now, runes can have just their own kind of letter meanings, but these don't actually spell anything out when you line them up. Instead, you have to go by what actually the symbols can represent. For instance, this symbol that can be the M, letter M, also means man. Overall, excellent design that I ended up loving way more in person than I thought I was going to. Because, yeah, at first glance, if you don't really know what's going into this guy, it's a little bit much, but once the themes come across, really cool. Now, as for the controller, this is something that I have kind of a little more mixed feelings on because, first off, I love silver, and I think the dark gray that contrasts it works really well together. I'm also a big fan of this approach that Sony's been doing with a lot of their special edition controllers, where they just use one little kind of subtle symbol on the right grip, which I think is a nice touch. Where they lose me, you don't really need to put the game right here. I think this is a great choice. I think color options, great. I didn't need to know the name of the game. I know what this is celebrating, and so sours it a little bit, but overall, really cool looking controller. So overall, this idea of incorporating the axe's design into the system, I think is really cool. It might seem a little bit much to someone who's not really a fan or doesn't know what's going on, but I actually really like that idea. The fact that, you know, a true fan isn't gonna know what's going on with the design, they're gonna appreciate the design choices, instead of having a system where they're just gonna plaster the word God of War all over it here and there. I think it works out really well.